Hey everybody, Duke45 here, and just taking some time to show you the custom Falcon action figure that I made. I had been pretty disappointed with the versions of Falcon that had come out. He was an important character for me, one of my favorite characters, and the figures they made for him just kind of left a lot to be desired to me, and I figured I really needed to make something for him that was, I just reflected the character as important of a character it was to me. Not just a regular action figure, but making, an ultimate version, to steal a line from the Retaliation verbiage, but kind of an ultimate version of Falcon. I don't know, those of you who remember the very first one that they made was 25th anniversary, and it came in the 2-pack with Nemesis Enforcer, or Nemesis Immortal for copyright reasons, and the head sculpt was atrocious. It didn't look anything like Falcon. It was cartoonish. It was bad. Even as big of a fan of Falcon as I am, I don't own that one. I did, and then I sold it. The next one that they made was the Night Force version, which would have been, I'm wrong on that. The next one they made was the Slaughter's Marauder 7-pack one. Now that was an improvement. They did a better job on that figure than they did on the 25th anniversary one, but it still wasn't hitting the notes for me. I like the fact that they actually gave him a good head sculpt, one that actually looks like a human being. But the outfit, the attire, while it was an improvement, the legs seemed to be bowed to the side a bit, and the torso seemed like it was all out of scale. So while it was better, it wasn't there yet. And then the Night Force one, which was in 2013, they took the ruffle at the bottom of the shirt that was there for the Slaughter's Marauder pack. They took that off and gave him not quite web gear, but just some overslings on his gear to attach grenades and whatnot. It looked a little better, but you still had the same bowed legs and the same out of scale torso. It was better, but it wasn't what I was looking for. And then finally they made the 50th anniversary one, which put back the kind of fringe on the bottom of the shirt. On the 50th, it looks like a skirt. It really does. It seems like it's too high up on him. It's using the same bowed legs, and once again, everything seems out of scale. The only thing that was consistently good on those ones were the head sculpts, and my favorite head sculpt was the 50th anniversary one, which is the one we're looking at now. That one actually came with a green beret, as opposed to the black one for his Night Force one, and a blue one for the Slaughter's Marauder 7-pack. I wanted to make a better version, so I started with, and I'll give you the breakdown here. The torso is Ultimate Flint from Retaliation. I thought that when I tried the head on a few different figures to see what looked best, and I arrived at this one, the Ultimate Flint one. The flak vest is from Agent Mouse, also from Retaliation, which originally was blue, but I painted that green. The neck piece here I painted green again. To me, Falcon always has that kind of green scarf around his neck. He's a green beret, so the color green I figured has to be here on him to reflect that. I was a big fan of the Sonic Fighters Falcon back in the day, the vintage one. And I wanted to try to get sort of the Sonic Fighters colors in here. Now I know they're releasing a Sonic Fighters Falcon figure from the club in those colors, but to me it looks like it's the exact same attire from the 50th anniversary, just painted in the Sonic Fighter colors. I'll probably still pick it up, but I know it's not going to be my definitive version. So I took the head off of the 50th anniversary Falcon, and put it on here. That's basically the only changes that were made. I changed the vest that originally came with Ultimate Flint, and I changed the head. Aside from that, I painted the entire torso area and pants a light gray color, trying to kind of capture from the Sonic Fighters. The knees I painted black, and then right under the knees there's a spot there. I noticed on one of the other figures, I think it actually was the Agent Mouse one again. It had some coloring that matched the knee pad right underneath the knee on the upper shin. So I chose to give, you know, the paint right there, the paint app, to be black. So it kind of went with the knee pad area. The next thing that I had to deal with was the fact that the flesh tone didn't match the Ultimate Flint. DJ Catrona, the actor who portrayed Flint in the movie, his skin's a bit darker, a bit more tan. So when I put Falcon's head on, it clashed with the arms. The option is there to crack the torso and put new arms in that would have matched. I didn't want to do that. I haven't had much luck with torso cracking. For me, it usually turns into just overall figure cracking. I didn't want to do that, so I used a paint from Citadel, and it usually, Citadel has, well, I'll get into, you know, paint choices and stuff another time, but Citadel usually has pretty good paints for matching existing toys. I've noticed in a few other projects that I've done. So I painted the arms, and then I painted the neck so it all matched, and let that dry. And then I just kind of, you know, did some greens on the vest. I didn't want to overdo it. I figured overdoing it would kind of make it look cartoony, but I still wanted to have green hints and accents on there, so I put another spot right here on the clip pouch, and then another, just kind of a dash of gray on both sides, just to kind of tie it all in together. It's tough to paint the joints on these because, you know, when they're going to be moving, there's going to be paint rubs, so you have to be careful on those. It's possible to do it without causing any problems, but the arms are tough, and then if you do it too often, you can get kind of a caking on the paint, and I definitely didn't want to have that, and luckily I was able to avoid that largely, so that was good. You'll notice on the shoulder area right there, there is and I'll tilt the figure so you can see it a bit better. It's black right on the shoulder joint where it goes up and down. I left that the dark original color that it was because of the fact that, you know, the arm is going to be moving up and down quite a bit, and it's more likely to get paint rub right in that spot. And what I didn't want was just kind of chipped away paint on there that would take away from it. So I figured it didn't actually look bad. It looked pretty good just leaving it a darker color, making it seem intentional. So I left that as is, and I think it looks pretty good. I would recommend, if you're doing customs, you know, those of you who haven't done many, try to avoid, you know, painting things if they don't have to be painted. The closer you can make it look to factory released, the sharper it's going to look, unless you are a master painter. Let's make sure I say that right. For me anyway, I don't have artistic skills at all, so I usually try to avoid overdoing it. So the last paint app I did was on the top shoulders, and again it was just to try and add on the flak vest here, just to add another little bit of color that tied it in together. Altogether there's really only 4 colors that I painted on here. On the arms and neck, the torso, the green on the vest, and then the black, which was used on the knees and upper shin area. It's definitely fun. I'm really happy with how it looks. I don't feel like I deviated too far from GI Joe, which is a concern usually when I do customs. I don't want to make it look so far away from GI Joe that it doesn't actually fit into the lineup. I feel like I did a pretty good job of tying it in so it doesn't look out of place with other GI Joe action figures. Again, that was my primary goal in doing that. And then right now I can give you just a little look of, this is the Slaughter's Marauder Falcon figure. You'll see him there. You see, this is what I mean by the bowed legs. See, right at the knee, they kind of just go outward. Let me find a figure stand so I can stand that up and show you. Alright, so just to give you an idea of what I was referring to. So now they're side by side here. Obviously this one's a little taller, which is good because a lot of the more modern figures are starting to get a bit taller. You slide them into the picture there. Okay, so side by side you can kind of see what I was referring to. On the Slaughter's Marauder one, the torso looks out of scale to me. The knees bend outward. The chest seems just too compact. Everything looks just kind of jammed in there, at least for me visually. The arms seem too long. They're kind of bent right now, but at full length, I think they almost go down to the knee. Maybe not. Maybe I'm exaggerating on that, but to me it does feel like they go a bit too long. And yeah, I mean, notwithstanding the color, it's Slaughter's Marauders. It's not supposed to have a nice matching tone, but yeah, this wasn't getting it done for me. So I went ahead and made this one. I have been doing customs for a while, not necessarily just GI Joes, but for wrestling figures, other toys. Technically, I've probably been doing customs since I was about 13 or 14. When they weren't making the toys that I wanted, so I just kind of took the ones that I had and made them into those ones. But it's fun. I try not to beat myself up too much. I'm by no means professional or expert or really good at it at all. It's just, to me, it's fun. It's something I enjoy doing. I have no artistic ability whatsoever, so anything that I have accomplished that doesn't look completely amateurish is just because of trial and error. I've messed up a lot of figures. I've messed up a lot of toys. So I've just kind of learned some lessons over the years on what I should do and what I shouldn't do. Anyway, so that is my ultimate Falcon, and I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions or comments, or even any tips I could use or suggestions for the figure, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. I enjoy reading that stuff. And if you have any figures that you've done customs of, I would love to see them. You can reach me on Twitter at Duke45Toys, or you can reach me on Instagram, which is also Duke45Toys. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.